Now, other interesting technological news, you have Spotify considering they might add video features to their platform. Now, Spotify is one of the most popular podcasting platforms, really came to the forefront because Joe Rogan had I think it was a rumor to be a $100 or $200 million contract with them, so that they have the exclusive rights to actually host his shows or his interviews. That's the only reason I downloaded Spotify personally. Now, granted, now the Topping Show is also on Spotify as well, so now I have two reasons to go there. Equally good resources, equally good, interesting people. But I digress. Now, that being said, is really, for most artists, it's only raw audio. You don't get to see them. I think Joe had exclusivity, or he was able to get a little extra features, obviously. But for most people, it's just all audio. And they did come up with this unique idea where they are trying to compete more with YouTube and TikTok, which are very big contenders to go up against. And depending on how much, they can't directly compete with YouTube. They don't have enough money, especially when it comes to long format videos, which I think Spotify knew that. So Spotify has come up with the idea to do short 30-second clips, almost like a preview to the songs or the podcast, where the artist can communicate with the fans something that they thought about their work, or they thought about when they were maybe creating that music or creating that podcast. This will do a couple things for this platform. It'll help bolster their capabilities as a platform, gives you an extra incentive to use them, especially if you have an exclusivity contract where that artist is only on that platform and you could only get that unique insight to their creation on that platform. That's a brilliant move. Now, this is going to cost them a pretty penny. I don't know if they're hosted their application on Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, or just on their own infrastructure. Think of a data center, lots of servers, which are glorified computers, I know. Well, rudimentarily speaking, technological terms. But going from audio to video is a huge cost. For my interview podcast, we got the best Shure SM37B microphones, and I think the Rodecaster. So we got the best microphones, the best soundboard, and that cost was about 10 to 13% of the total budget of the show, because the majority of that budget went to the video. The cameras were, I think, $12.50 a piece. Then you have the lens. That's naked. And when you talk about cinematography, a naked camera means there's no lens on the camera. So that's another $700 to $1,000 for an entry level good lens. And then you have the 4K video switcher, which that was another $3,000. It's all that adds up. And then you have to store the data. So we have extra storage devices, a network attached storage array. And it's all because of the video. The actual audio storage is minuscule. You're talking a couple gigs of data, whereas the show, a 1 hour interview on that platform using that infrastructure is 756 gigabytes before you actually edit it and you actually try to compress it a little bit. That's a lot of data, and that's a lot of cost. So it'll be interesting to see, even if they limit it to just 30 seconds, will this only be for their top 100 artists, or how are they going to control this cost? It's a big risk. They're going to have to build out the infrastructure either themselves, or they pay a provider like Amazon Web Services to host it virtually for them on their platform, which is the Amazon Cloud, which I always joke, there's no such thing as a cloud, it's just someone else's hardware, which is true. Instead of having the infrastructure, the computers, and the servers on your building, it's over in Amazon's warehouse, who knows where. It's globally based. So time shall tell, but in terms of innovation and coming out with something different that could add value to the platform, brilliant idea from Spotify. It'll be interesting to see how they execute the idea in the real world. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get up to 3,000 subscribers in July, so if you could take the time to click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. The feedback greatly helps the channel out as we try to get the production better and better and better over time. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.